Hey everybody out there in YouTube land. It's Michael Jazzman Hobbs here. I'm new to this YouTube thing. It's my first ever video, but I'm going to be reviewing. The purpose of this channel is basically just to review books. So first, a little bit to introduce myself. Some of my favorite authors include Stephen King, David Baldacci, Steve Berry, John Grisham. But basically, give me a good book recommendation in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. Or basically read anything. I like to read. So the first book that I will be reviewing today is a book by Stephen King. It's called 11/22/63. And if you know the significance of that date, it's the date that John F. Kennedy was assassinated, as you can tell from the front cover. Now, this book, I mean, Stephen King, he's obviously a legend. I mean, he's one of the best, if not the best, horror slash mystery writers to ever do it. And I feel the same way. I feel he's definitely in my top three, probably, of favorite authors. Now, this book is about a man named Jake Epping. He has to go back in time to try to stop the JFK assassination. He meets a character called the Green Card Man along the way. He has this friend named Al, who has a diner that's a portal to going back to 1961. He actually goes back to 1958, but you'll just have to read to find out what else happens. I don't want to give it all away. But, yeah, so it's about a man named Jake Epping. He's an English teacher. You know what? I'll just read the front and back flaps for you. That way you can get a better idea of what this book's about. So, it says, in this brilliant conceived tour de force, Stephen King, who has absorbed the social, political, and popular culture of his generation more imaginatively and thoroughly than any other writer, takes readers on an incredible journey into the past and the possibility of altering it. It begins with Jake Epping, a 35-year-old English teacher in Lisbon Falls, Maine, who makes extra money teaching GED classes. He asks his students to write about an event that changed their lives, and one essay blows him away. A gruesome, harrowing story about the night more than 50 years ago when Harry Dunning's father came home and killed his mother, his sister, and his brother with a sledgehammer. Reading the essay is a watershed moment for Jake, his life, like Harry's, like America's in 1963, turning on a dime. Not much later, his friend Al, who owns a local diner, divulges a secret. His storeroom is a portal to the past, a particular day in 1958, and Al enlists Jake to take over the mission that has become his obsession, to prevent the Kennedy assassination. So begins Jake's new life as George Amberson, in a different world of Ike and JFK and Elvis, of big American cars and sock hops and cigarette smoke everywhere. From the dank little city of Derry, Maine, where there's Dunning business to conduct, to the warm-hearted small town of Jody, Texas, where Jake falls dangerously in love. Every turn is leading eventually, of course, to a troubled loner named Lee Harvey Oswald, and to Dallas, where the past becomes heart-stoppingly suspenseful, and where history might not be history anymore. Time travel has never been so believable, or so terrifying. So, now, all of you who are familiar with Stephen King, you know that his books follow they're on a certain timeline, and they're all in a certain like city scope in Maine. Like it said Derry, Maine. He goes back to Derry, Maine, and that's a Stephen King staple, and that's where most of his stories take place. Most of his books take place in Derry, Maine. So this one's no different. It's on the same timeline and in the same cities. It even mentions Shawshank Prison at one point in this book, which is a favorite of mine because I love that movie and that book, but mostly that movie, my favorite movie. So if you enjoy Stephen King, this is his fourth longest book. It's 847 pages, but I finished it in 2 weeks. That's how good it is. sorry, I'm still kind of new with this thing and what else to say. It's a very gripping book. It'll from beginning to end, it'll grab you and pull you in, and you won't want to stop reading it. I worked a night shift job, and like I said, I finished it in 2 weeks because it was so good I couldn't put it down. Um, One of Stephen King's best. It's if you're not into horror, that's good because this book, it doesn't really read as a horror. It's more of a mystery novel, and it's not. It doesn't. Um, it doesn't give into the conspiracy theories about the JFK assassination. It's more of its own story, and you can deduce your own conclusions. But um, it definitely has Lee Harvey Oswald as a central figure in this book also, and about him being the one to commit this crime and the one who ultimately killed JFK. So, at the risk of being long-winded or at the risk of repeating myself, I'll end the video here. But make sure to click like and subscribe to my channel. I plan on making this channel a channel of variety. So Stephen King will be this time. He won't be again for a while. I mean, like I said, I like reading Stephen King, David Baldacci, Steve Barry, John Grisham. So I'll try to keep variety. And if you want to recommend a book for me to read and then review on this channel, go ahead and do that too. I welcome that. So hope you all leave a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.